all we have in store. On the run from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Cougars offense will get the first crack at it here. And guys, we talk about how tight ends are a quarterback's best friend. Boy, this guy may take friendship to a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's so nice to have a guy that the size, the athletic ability, and here's why it's always so good. Jesse, what do you want to do, man? Put a line.
There he goes. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
When you go on the road, man, oh man, you love hearing the crowd, but more importantly, you love shutting the crowd up. There's no better feeling than coming out, getting that juice going, getting that confidence going, and getting that running game going right at them and gashing them right out the gates. And that would be the definition of first down success, putting yourself in a good position. It's second and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Looking to throw, it's Wegman. Fires to the big fella. They'll stop him right there, but it is enough for a Houston first down.
Not the big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. He'll keep it himself. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job by the defense playing responsibility football, making sure the quarterback couldn't make any of his reads, making sure the picture is not clear, getting downhill, getting the quarterback on the ground.
Backed up now, here's second and long. To the ground with the back. Nice move there. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
It is deafening in here. The paddle people going to work. Third down and a big one for the Cowpokes. Safe completion on the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
It's a nice effort by the running back, but in that third and long situation, it's just too much work for that running back to convert that third down. Really, nice job. Got to give the defense credit. They surrounded him, got him to the ground.
Houston sends the punt team onto the field. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. So Oklahoma State's offense has the ball for the first time. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead, and it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
Dropping back, it's Flores. Got it behind the line. It's Brock. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And listen, if I'm the quarterback, I'm trying to dump the ball off to my playmaker and make this a manageable third down, get something positive. But how about the defense just reacting so fast, getting to the running back, and getting that sucker on the ground in the open field?
On third and long, try to convert through the air. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man downfield. Now with a great opportunity as they pick up the first down. They've got it at the 40.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. He'll step out of bounds. He's at the 33-yard line.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The Cowboys with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Wants to go up top. Got it in the middle. It's Brock. Stop is made at the 22. A 10-yard pickup and a first down just outside the red zone.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
And the Cowboys are flying down the field. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Those two failed to make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and sometimes the coverage is just great. And as a quarterback, you throw the football away or don't try to force it too tight into a window, and you just say, hey, defense won that, well, good coverage.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Back to pass, it's Flores. Caught in the backfield, it's Brock. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball.
Oh, he's got enough space. Touchdown, Cowboys. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game.
This is a running back that can hurt you, not just getting handoffs, but they use him in the passing game as well. They called the screen at the absolute perfect time, and it ends up being a touchdown.
Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and Oklahoma State has the lead here. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played one period. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. Stadium buzzing, kickoff team on the field, and we are ready to get this thing started. Looks like he's going to try to return it. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Houston sending the offense back onto the field. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Snagged in the middle, it's McGarry. They make the stop, not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. Still some work to do after that last completion at 2nd down. Scanning the field, it's Wegman. That's reeled in, it's Thomas. Brought down at the 31 after a pickup of 10 yards on that one.
It's really hard when you get in those predictable situations. Defenses are sitting on the sticks. Receivers have to understand where that first down marker is. Heads up play, nose for the first down marker. Get in there and get it.
And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. Looking to throw on first down. That's caught. It's Connors. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Now on 2nd down. Wants to keep it in the air. Going for it all. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
I know that one falls incomplete, but I love the idea of finding ways to get this running back the ball, right? You can hand it off to him. He's got really good hands. Already has a few catches in this game. I think you keep trying to leak him out of the backfield and let him take advantage of this defense throwing the ball.
Takes it from the gun on third down. Got rid of it just in time. Another incompletion on third down.
Yeah, this offense might want to think about moving the launch point for this QB because if you take hits like that from the pocket, it's really tough to complete passes.
Houston will be forced to punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. Oklahoma State has it back and the offense is on the field. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills, and they've got it at the receiver position. So if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
Big play to start this drive. Now they'll snap it from the 39. On the run, it's dropped. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They tried to get the defense going the wrong way with the counter, but nothing doing.
Aggressive defense, attacking defense. You want to hit them with those counters, but it wasn't successful in this play. Defensive line, linebackers, everybody's dialed in. They see what's going on. They diagnose it, go downhill, hit them right in the middle of the field.
Fires to the wideout. Got it in the middle. It's going. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
Right, second quarter, getting closer to the half. Offense is still having a lot of success stringing some first downs together. Defense is going to need to figure something out before they get to halftime.
The Cowboys have it with a 1st and 10. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. Just nosing into enemy territory at the 49. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, the running back has it. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, when you get penetration by that defense right away, and there's no way to cut at all for that back, he gets destroyed right away. No way that play was going to be successful. Way too much penetration.
And the Cowboys with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Fires to the middle. Finds a tight end down the gut. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be 1st down.
Man, this defense, they have got to get better in coverage if they want to get off the field anytime soon. You keep defending like that, this offense might hang 50 on you by the end of the game.
On 1st and 10 from the 38. Looking downfield, it's Flores. Gets open down the middle. And that's a very productive 1st down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
And you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Caught over the middle, it's Fitzpatrick. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the 1st down.
And the slant is really a difficult route to defend against if you're a DB in man coverage, especially when you have no help on the inside. So if you're the offense and you continue seeing that coverage, you might as well keep attacking it just like that.
It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got his man quickly. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Wants to throw. They'll have to be efficient against the clock. Grabbed over the middle. It's 4. Now the connection takes it to the 11. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called. Love the way he didn't just run to a spot. He found the cushion in the zone and got himself open for the first down.
Yeah, and you're taught to find that space. Don't run right into a zone defender who's sitting there looking at the quarterback and looking at you. So much creativity with routes now and being able to just have subtle moves one way, come back the other way. Nice job by the tight end finding that hole in the zone.
We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And here on second down, they'll send out the field goal unit to try to get 3 before the break. From the left hash, this one shouldn't be too much trouble. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
That late in the half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. He'll start the return inside his 5. They make the stop on the return, and that is priority 1. You don't want some big return to give up a cheap touchdown on the final play of the half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
All right, fellas, looks like you've had a very enjoyable day there today in Stillwater. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. And with that, let's head back to the home of the Pokes and Boone Pickens Stadium.
The Cougars will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. Oklahoma State hoping to get the Pistols firing on offense. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Ford. Makes the stop at the 29-yard line, but not before he gets 15 on that play.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
Here's a quick throw out to the left. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2 possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead. They know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
The Cowboys can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. They'll send the back in motion. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
I like the play call on offense. I like you trying to get the running back involved in the pass game, too. Defense was ready for that one. Let's see what you've got dialed up on 3rd.
And the Cowboys really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. Off play action. Here's a heat. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
Defense had to have it. You've got to get off the field quickly and give it back to your offense. When you're trailing by this many points, you can't be on the field long and allow the opponent to bleed the clock. So really nice job up front winning, getting home, getting the sack, now setting up 4th down. And now let's see if their offense can start chipping away at this lead.
The Cowboys will punt this one away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Excellent job on the punt. Bounces out of bounds at the 5, and they'll have yards to go in front of them. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few.
They're trying to throw the wide receiver screen to pick up that first down, but the defense just too much speed getting to the ball carrier on that one.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. To the air, it's Wegman. Gets it out fast. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down.
You hate giving up that play if you're the DB on this one because you're playing man coverage, you're trying to defend a slant route, you've taken the inside away. That's where your leverage is. You'll allow anything to happen to the outside. You're trying to funnel the receiver to the boundary. You just cannot let the
Turning it on! He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
It was so important this offense was able to find a way to get in the rhythm, and the running game is now helping that. 2 straight punts on their previous 2 drives. This drive, though, they're having a little bit more success. Big reason why is this running back. He's been able to find some creases to run through, and it's really helping out this offense.
Wide receiver going in motion. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Not this time. After finding running room on the previous play, nowhere to go this time around as the defense rises up.
Well, it's a negative play trying to run the football, and I think if you're on offense, you got to be thinking about throwing it now. You're trailing by a lot. You got to get back in this game. You need tempo, and you need explosive plays through the air.
Quickly to the tight end. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
That's just a very easy, comfortable throw for the quarterback. He knows he has his big target, the tight end, running across the field on the drag. Nice play.
Man, is this place loud right now. The Cowpoke faithful bringing it on third down. Touch pass on the run. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up fourth down.
A really nice job by the defense, understanding the situation. We know they like to run the touch pass. Great job selling out, seeing it, bringing those guys right down, flying into space, getting the fast, speedy wide receiver on the ground. Nice third down stop.
Excellent coverage and tackle that time, and that's how the third quarter comes to a close. We've reached the break. Oklahoma State is on top and sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the third. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. They go back to work with a first down in the final period of this one. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads to the wideout. How about a little rhythm that you can tap your toe to on that throw and catch for the first down?
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? This is what got this team in this position to win this game. Aggressive offense, taking shots. Here we are in the fourth quarter. They've got the lead. Why stop now?
They couldn't draw up a better way to start a drive, and now they've got it 1st and 10 from the 41. Fine play action. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
Play action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
And the Cowboys trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Looking for a man. It's Flores. Pulls it in. It's Freeman. And he's wrestled to the ground.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
The Cowboys come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. A quick completion to the left, looking for the first down.
And you just get the feeling that this defense has to find a way to get off the field and get the football back at this juncture of the game, trailing late if they're going to win.
And the Cowboys are marching down the field. The give as they work on that clock. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Clock continues to run, and they'll be happy to wind it all the way down before they snap it. Caught behind the line. It's blocked. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. Well, he made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this. I want to find my running back, but man, he's got to do a little more damage after the catch. I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move. I need something where he can make that guy miss and pick up a bunch of yards and maybe get a big play out of it.
That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down.
You know, if you want to run the ball up the middle, you're going to have to block that guy. I mean, nobody even touched him, and he slanted right into the backfield, made the tackle for loss.
They'll move the wide receiver. Now the play fake. They got him for the sack, and now get the ball back after the fourth down stop.
Well, you're up by 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. They're hoping with that conversion they ice the game. They don't get it. It feels like they're going to win, but we've seen crazy things happen in college football, and they've left the door open here late. Let's see what happens.
The Houston offense ready to go back to work. They haven't really been able to light up this scoreboard, but putting points up would be huge here. Finds his man. It's Broussard. They stop him at the 42, but they get it across midfield, pick up 10 and the first down.
Well, that last play is a beautiful start to this drive. You've got some work to do here. You've got some mountain you've still got to climb if you're going to win this game. A couple minutes left. You've got the horses to get you there, but it's all about getting the drive started with a positive play, and they found that on that last one.
Finds a man on the left. All the way down to the 27-yard line before they get him out of bounds, and this offense is threatening.
And this offense is going to have to do more of this, right? They're going to have to be aggressive, attack the sidelines. They're going to need some big plays, trailing late in this football game, but they've also got to be smart and be mindful of the clock.
He'll pull it on the read. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there.
You know, as a quarterback, when you're doing this zone read play, you got to read that defensive end. And if he crashes down hard inside to take the running back away, right away you know now you're keeping the football. Nice job by the quarterback.
2 minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. And now on second down for this offense. Back to pass, it's Wegman. That's caught. It's Thomas. It is deafening in here. The paddle people going to work. Third down and a big one for the Cowpokes. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his big tight end. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a first down in the red zone at the 14.
Well, this tight end is so athletic that at times they'll line him up in different parts of the field. That time he was in the slot. Nice job running the route, finding the open space in the defense for the completion.
And the Cougars come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Under fire. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
That's a play the defense needed, right? It's been a battle all game long. Here we are, it's late, everybody's tired. They've given up a few yards on this drive, but they come away with a huge sack at a big moment.
The Cougars have put themselves in dire straits after that last play at 2nd and a mile. Here's the pressure. The offense gets a quick timeout at this point. Every second is precious.
These are the perfect situations you love to be in. Known passing situations. These are not where the offensive tackles want to be. And when you're on the edge and there's no threat of the...
Unleashes one deep. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Taking it the other way.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
He will take a knee, and the defense can stop the clock one more time, but this one is just about in the book.